Lisa was known in her company for being reliable, kind, and always ready to lend a helping hand. She worked in a large office, filled with busy teams and endless deadlines. Everyone liked Lisa. She was the go-to person whenever someone needed support. One afternoon, her colleague Anna rushed over, carrying a stack of paperwork. "Lisa, I'm really behind. These reports need to be finished by tomorrow morning. I'm swamped. Can you help me, please?" Lisa looked at the stack and then at her own growing to-do list. Still, she smiled. Of course, no problem. That night, Lisa stayed late at her desk long after everyone else had left. She finished Anna's reports and then turned to her own work. By the time she walked out of the office, it was nearly midnight. The next morning, Lisa arrived looking drained. Her eyes were tired, and she could barely keep up with her usual pace. But just as she sat down, Peter from the marketing team approached her. "Lisa, I heard you're great with presentations. Can you help me put one together for tomorrow's meeting?" Lisa hesitated, but nodded again. "Sure, I can do that." She skipped lunch, working side by side with Peter, correcting slides and offering advice. She didn't touch her own pending tasks. That evening, she barely managed to complete half her responsibilities. As the days went on, this pattern repeated. Colleagues kept coming asking for help, and Lisa kept saying yes. She wanted to be supportive. She didn't want anyone to feel disappointed. But with each new task, her own work suffered. Lisa started feeling anxious. She made small mistakes, forgetting emails, mixing up dates, misfiling documents. She began to doubt herself. The stress followed her home. Even her weekends were filled with catching up on what she couldn't finish during the week. One morning, her manager called her in. "Lisa, I've noticed a change in your performance. You're usually on top of everything, but lately there have been delays, mistakes. Is everything okay?" Lisa finally spoke up. "I've been trying to help everyone, but it's getting too much. I didn't want to let anyone down, so I just kept saying yes." Her boss listened carefully, then leaned forward. "Lisa, it's admirable to be helpful, but you're one person. You can't pour from an empty cup. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say no." That night, Lisa thought about those words. The next day, when another colleague approached her, Lisa smiled and said kindly, "I'd love to help, but I need to focus on my own work first. Maybe later if I have time." To her surprise, the colleague simply nodded and said, "No worries, I understand." Little by little, Lisa began to create boundaries. She scheduled time blocks for her own work, and if someone needed her help, she checked her availability first. She wasn't less kind. She was just learning to be kind to herself too. As weeks passed, her stress faded. Her confidence returned. Her performance improved. And most importantly, she felt proud, not for saying yes, but for knowing when to say no.